So in this video, I want to talk about ticker symbol CHWY and why I'm looking at Chwy stock, right? So today we're looking at a 4-hour view and we see these big, massive red candles, right? So I want to talk about why I see opportunity, and this isn't your simple, oh, I'm buying the dip type of video because, anyone could just say, they're buying the dip. But at the end of the day, the dip can get dippier, right? And so oftentimes the strategy of saying, hey, I'm buying the the dip, right? It doesn't always work. So I want to talk about the strategy that I'm looking into, but I also want to talk about why or how I found CHWY, Chwy stock, right? So let's go ahead and go to some tabs. So over here, I want to show you guys, this shows the most mentioned ticker symbols on Wall Street bets in the last day. Now, if we hover to the right, we see that, CHWY is among one of the top most, spoken stocks on Wall Street bets. Now, why do I look at what people are saying on Wall Street bets? Because obviously that means there's a lot of volatility or a lot of volume, because if a lot of people are talking about it, a lot of people are trading it, and they could either be buying it, they could either be selling it. And as a trader, my goal is to really just profit off fluctuation in price. And so, I saw Chwy there. Now, I did see SPY above there, but people are generally going to talk about SPY because that's the S&P 500 ETF. And most people generally refer to SPY as pretty much the gauge of the overall market. Although technically it's not, but that's what, most people see it as. And of course, we have a lot of events coming out with the overall market. We have a Federal Reserve meeting going on next week. We have a lot. I'm not going to get into that. But we have these ticker symbols and people are talking about Chwy. Now, going back to the stock, I want to measure this and show you guys how crazy this was today. So this fell down approximately, let's see, we'll say, if we get it right, about almost 18% today, which is just absolutely insane. An 18% drop. The RSI is showing that's oversold. We see the MACD, we just see it curling down. So, we just, just a lot of bad stuff going on. Now, why did Chwy stock fall down, right? So, I want to go to this site over here, which is a news article by Barron's, and it just says, Chwy shares tumble as higher costs nips profitability. And it didn't say nips, it actually just said nip. So cost nip profitable. My tongue is just getting twisted. I'm sorry, guys. But anyways, Chwy shares are heading lower in late trading Thursday after the online food product retailer posted disappointing results for its fiscal third quarter ended October 31st, right? Reflecting higher than expected supply chain and labor costs, right? So, with the higher than expected supply chain and labor costs, this is kind of eating into the profits of the company, right? Now, when it comes to trading, a lot of things that I look at, I look at a lot, right? I look at the charts, but I don't only trade off, technical analysis. I would say it's a big aspect, but I also look for catalyst events. I look at, just the financials of the company and just overall just global events, because of course, knowing what's going on in the market is going to help you become a better trader or investor. Right? So if we know right now we have this pandemic going on, we have these supply chain issues, we have this labor shortage, labor costs is going up. We have a lot of things going on right now, and that's cutting into, the profits of this company, which, it dipped for the quarter. Now, one thing I want to talk about is, why I'm looking at this company is it's been selling off for a while, right? If let's go ahead and go to a daily chart. It's honestly has been selling off for a while, and we're at this level over here, right? Now, what I'm looking at is, the supply chain issues. That's something that's not going to stay there long term. That's not going to be there forever, hopefully, right? And, this is, with an optimistic look that eventually COVID is going to go away as well, right? So with that being said, of course, labor costs, that's probably not going to go down. That's something that when it goes up, it just does not go down, right? I wish our stock portfolios did that, right? Followed that model. But, unfortunately, that's just how it is with, labor costs, right? Which is actually a good thing. So, one thing that I want to talk about is, okay, we have this stock that's beaten down by earnings. It's been getting beaten down drastically. So what I'm looking for is, when is the next support? And once it touches that support, is it going to start bouncing up? And once it starts bouncing up, we're going to wait for something called confirmation. This is something that, this whole strategy is pretty much the step-by-step strategy I talk about in the Push and Profit program, which, by the way, there's a link in the description below. It's going to be the first link where you could use the coupon code, sign up for the program, but I don't really want to get too much into that. So the next support that I'm seeing right over here is at around, $52.54. So that's the area that I'm looking at, right? Now, of course, it could start bouncing up from here, which is fine. Because if it does, then I'm looking if it breaks above this blue line right here, which is the exponential moving average, is $63.21. At that point, that's when I'll go ahead, and if it crosses over that, I'll go ahead and enter into a small position, right? Small position, keyword. Or if it starts going down and it touches this area at 53, and it starts bouncing up, again, if it goes above the exponential moving average, then I'll buy in, right? Now, is this always going to happen? Absolutely not. Chwy stock could honestly go down even further, right? It could go to the dark abyss for all I know, right? But this is a strategy that I like to trade. In fact, if you guys watched one of my most recent videos, not the DWAC video, but the video I did on DOCU, DocuSign, and it's this stock right here, I talked about the same exact thing, right? So, and I don't want to get too deep in this video, but, they had a bad earnings. It was honestly way worse than, Chwy, right? If we measure this earnings was almost 90%, right? This was just terrible. And, I found the support. And then, I didn't wait for confirmation, so I took a smaller position size, right? Generally, when a confirmation is confirmed, then that's when I take a small position. But I just saw that it was bouncing off the support, so I entered in a small position, right? And as it was moving up, I kept moving my stop loss, right? So no matter what, if it ended up going back down, I locked in profits. Again, something that I talk about in the Push and Profit program, locking in profits. This way, when you enter and it goes up, you don't lose, right? It helps set the win ratio better for you for your trades, right? And so by doing this trade, I actually did, and I didn't buy at the absolute bottom, but let's say around here, and I got to actually look at the trade, but that was almost 20%. Right? And this is, from a video that I talked about the other day. Now, again, I don't want to go off tangent and really talk about DocuSign. I really just want to keep our focus on Chwy because that's, what the title of the video is about, right? But, we have something getting beaten down. Not as bad by its earnings, but definitely something that has beaten it down a lot today. But overall, the stock has been on a downtrend. Now, I don't want to just buy now and buy the dip because, again, it's on a downtrend. Again, I want to wait for that support and wait for that bounce because, like I said in the beginning of the video, everyone says that they're going to buy the dip, but the dip can get dippier. So what is your plan when the dip gets dippier, right? Are you going to mitigate your risks and cut your losses, or are you going to wait for the reversal and trend? And so, these are things that I look at. Now, again, you guys don't necessarily have to trade exactly how I trade. There's a plethora of different trading strategies out there. And, what I really want to do is kind of just spark or just kind of, provide that just thought of inspiration, or just like kind of share my trading ideas so that this way it could really help you guys fine tune and find what trading strategy really suits your needs, right? Because at the end of the day, everyone's going to trade differently. You have people who they can't trade every day, so they can't day trade. So they can swing trade though, right? They have their career, their profession. Maybe you're a nurse, maybe you're a doctor, and you can't look at the stocks all day. You could swing trade. So at the end of the day, there's multiple different strategies, and my goal is to help you find yours. So definitely let me know what you guys are doing with Chwy stock. What's your thoughts? Leave some comments down in the comment section below. And with that being said, guys, thanks for watching this short and sweet video. And I need you guys to watch this next video that's about to pop up right here. Take care.